I consider myself to be a person who will play just about any game no matter the genre. If you were to pull up a list of some of my favorite games, you'd find a pretty large array of stuff, like RPG, stealth action, puzzles, roguelikes, and a ton more. But one that I haven't really explored before is 3D platformers, so I decided to change that when a really cool looking indie 3D platformer caught my eye a few months ago. That game being Corn Kid 64, which was released back in 2023 with its developer Bogosoft describing it as the unauthorized kid-friendly version of this classic Stephen King thriller. Or maybe not, maybe it's just a game about one-horned goat babies. As you probably already guessed, Corn Kid 64 is a 3D platformer which is extremely faithful to its 90s inspirations. Now, I don't want you thinking it's just a stylistic thing with the graphics and being the main sticking point of the 90s style, because Corn Kids is faithful to a T and almost to a fault. Everything feels handcrafted to really make you feel like you're playing a game from the 90s. The minute you start up the game, you're greeted with a menu to further customize the experience and make everything even more immersive for yourself, such as being compatible with an N64 controller. It's even got the option to disable achievements for a person like me, which is terrifying. Once the game begins, we're greeted by our main protagonist, Steve. Now, Steve has a problem. Each night when he goes to bed, the same dream enters his mind where he wanders into a parking lot in front of a nacho shop. Once Steve enters the nacho shop, he's greeted by his good friend Alexis, who's made her way in here. She explains to how she made this park to train his corn powers so that Steve can finally break out of this dream. Steve agrees to run through this park, but on the deal that he gets his nachos in the end. The whole park area is going to act as your tutorial world with all these sticky notes that Alexis left behind, so you can actually learn what to do, and it'll give you some pointers. I love this way of setting up tutorials since it gives you the freedom to run around and explore wherever you want with these mini tutorials that'll help you grasp the game's mechanics. The gameplay and different moves you can do and pull off are really nice, and they blend together really well. Besides the basic run, jump, punch, you get a few other moves that you can chain together to reach different areas, like wall jumping, a mid-air lunge, drill kind of thing, and digging, which can all be paired to do some really fun movement combos to help you explore. Along with those, you can find different objects to help you boost your movement, like bubbles you can lunge on and jump on, red rings that help you boost forward, and birds that let you bounce off the floor, and a lot more. Once you reach the top, you'll be able to talk to Alexis and leave the park and move on to the next area. Soon after leaving, you'll find yourself entering the main area of the game, Wallows Hollow. The first thing you might notice is this giant owl watching over you from the middle of the tree. This is because the peaceful town has been taken over by owls, and now the pig citizens have to live under their tyranny. Luckily for these guys, you're here to save the day, and with your newfound corn powers, you'll be able to do it just fine. This place has a lot of things for you to do, and it just feels amazing to run around while exploring. I got about 20 hours logged in, and I would say about 5 of them were spent just running around while I talked to friends over Discord late at night. Your whole objective is to find a way to get into the tree and kick that damn owl's ass. Now that may seem daunting without any direction, but good news for you. Alexis is here to guide you. While exploring, you'll stumble across these little teleporter type things with Alexis popping out, which will set a checkpoint in case you die, and it also gives you some info on what you can do next, as when you're talking to her, she'll give you some kind of hint on what to do in the area. She's not always super helpful, but I love Alexis, so it's always worth talking to her. The town is full of little pigs to talk to, with they often having some kind of problem or issue you can help them out with, such as freeing one from a pile of hay, giving another one a spin on the roundabout, or even clearing the petting zoo full of mutant rats. These little dudes need your help, and by damn, you're going to give it to them whether you like it or not. Every little area is full of things to do, and you get to use your different moves that you learned in pretty creative ways. There's something really fun about climbing the side of a hill and slamming into a dragon's head to make it to the other side, or digging under a big-ass turtle to create a bounce pad. Exploring is crucial if you want to finish the game, as many of the areas won't be accessible off the bat. To access some places, you'll need to raise Steve's level by grabbing XP cubes scattered around. I definitely recommend going for all the little XP cubes you'll find lying around, as many of them are hidden in secret areas with some fun things to do or see. There are a few sprinkled around, but when exploring, you'll probably come across these mirrors. Once you hit them, you'll be transporting this mini game where you correlates to one of the moves that you got, like digging, bouncing, which will reward you with some XP. Another aspect of this game is combat. 90% of the game won't really involve you fighting. There's these little frog guys hanging around that you'll try and bite you, but you just slap them around and you'll get some soda, and that'll give you some health. The combat isn't very inspiring, but if you're playing a 3D platformer, I can't imagine you really came here looking for combat, so you can't really complain. Going back to the way this game looks, I can't stop gushing over just how amazing the art style is. Everywhere you look here, you find something that's so well made, and you can really just tell the dev really put all their soul into this project, with each area feeling so handcrafted and full of love. No matter where you go, you're bound to find some kind of secret or point of interest, since the smallest of areas are filled with something to see. Hell, even going back to grab footage for this video, I found some secrets I completely missed my first time around. I'm not going to spoil the rest of the game for you because it's so much fun to figure out everything yourself, and playing it blind is the best way to experience any game. But besides that, I will talk about some of the post-game content. Besides exploring and collecting everything you missed, the game gives you one last challenge in the form of the Tower of Anxiety, which, let me tell you, it really lives up to its name. To beat it, you need to get to the very top without dying, or you're sent back to the bottom. Luckily, you do get little checkpoints, but if you fully die, then it's back to square one. This stage was such a challenge for me because you're given such a small amount of extra health, and to make it all the way up, you got to be able to master all the moves you've been practicing throughout your playthrough, because once you're close to the very top, that anxiety feeling, you know, that one wrong slip and you're back to the bottom thing really starts setting in. Another thing you can do in the post game is to track down these void screws. You'll find these scattered in hidden places around the world, so they can be pretty tricky to track down, but if you're interested in seeing everything the game has to offer, then do yourself a favor and track these down, since you'll unlock a pretty cool secret area. Learning how to properly use all the different moves to get to different areas was super satisfying, and even just exploring the world was such a great time. With many games, I had to go out of my way to 100% all the achievements, as I do with lots of what I play, and doing so really elevated the whole experience, since I found way more things to do that I would have probably missed in just a normal standard run of the game. So would I recommend playing? Absolutely. Everything about this game I just perfect in every single way. Even if you're not a big 3D platformer fan like me, I'm sure you'll find something about Corn Kid 64 that you like, and well, for $7 you can't really go wrong. Alright, well that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this. This took a little while to get out because I just got out of college for the summer, so I've been working 7 days a week, so finding time to sit down and record, edit has been a real pain in the ass. I want to get more videos out more consistently than this. I think the biggest problem right now is my recording. Like, I think right now, like, the audio is fine, but I've noticed that when I was recording this in the shower, I just had like a water bottle just like make a weird noise, so sorry if you heard that. Back on topic. The audio for this video, I was kind of happy with, kind of not. Like, I felt like I sounded like a little drowsy throughout the whole thing. Maybe you thought differently, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. If anyone makes it this far, of course. But I figured with me working so much now, I'm probably coming home tired a lot. So I think going forward, when it's time to actually record for things, and I just hit a play, I'm sorry. I think I'm literally just gonna like call out of work like a week beforehand, just so I can, like, you know, freshly record everything when I'm like energized and all that kind of stuff, because I want to be more energized in these videos. I don't want to be drowsy. I don't have to do it in 2 separate recording days, and I'm treating this like it's some big ass production, when in reality it's like a 10-minute YouTube video for a 70 subscriber channel. But otherwise than that, that's something I would like to do. I want to make these videos better. So if you're watching, please be very critical of me. If you want to go in the comments, you want to give me like tips what I should be doing, things that you didn't like from this video, believe me, tell me all about it. You can be as hurtful if you want as well, if you want to come at me, I don't care. It's all about improving, and I just want to keep going, getting better at this kind of stuff. So yeah, give me all the criticism you can. I want to give a big thanks to my friend Lexi and Nick for looking over this script and making sure things flowed correctly, weren't too clunky, so huge thanks to them. I got another video planned for the game Labyrinth of the Demon King, which just came out a couple of days ago, so I'm very excited to record that, and I'm hoping to get a video on that in a couple of weeks. I'm not going to put a timestamp on it because, you know, I don't want to rush it. I would like to be able to make it a quality product, so expect that at some point in the future. I won't ramble on much more, but thank you for watching, and I really hope you watch some of my other stuff.